Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and good afternoon. Just give me 2 minutes because I never have enough time to share stuff. Welcome to our first. Trying to think what we've called it now. I'm joking. Speaking around the Trinity of Free. I hope everybody is doing well. It's Sunday already. It's like nearly a new week. And for over here in the UK, the pubs reopen tomorrow. So without further ado, I am gonna get the ladies on. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you both?
We're doing good. Well, I'm doing good. I'm like speaking for you too, Leslie.
That's okay.
I need to actually go to comments. Because I'm like, there's 3 comments already, and I'm like, what? Wow. So I'm just sharing it, obviously, because we never have enough time to share this stuff.
We never do.
And apologies if you hear trains going back and forth. They're out doing work on the lines, so, and obviously we've got train tracks literally out where we live, so.
I live downtown, so you'll probably hear like gunshots or, cars racing. It's
okay. You guys won't hear nothing from me. My client lives in a nice area.
That's good.
I, however, live like you, Leslie, downtown area. You hear gunshots, police sirens, helicopters everywhere.
Yeah, even my neighbor's kind of loud. Her and her boyfriend will be like fighting all the time and slamming doors, and it's an old building, so you can hear easily through the walls.
Are you sure they're living people? Because I know your building's haunted, right?
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's so pretty. Like, I don't know if you girls can see it, but
I like the background?
Yeah.
It's really cute. I saw you when you were changing into like different scenery and stuff.
I don't know if you guys can see it, so
I like it. I like it.
It's really nice.
Just a quick shout out to Manny. See, I remembered from last time, Manny. So that's Manny, right?
Yeah.
And Michelle, welcome. Also, guys, if you feel free to share, please share this Facebook Live because it'll get us more viewership. Not that we're bothered about viewership, but
yay.
So how have you both been? Because I know we talk on Facebook, but it's different, obviously, talking kind of face to face.
I actually am good. I got my vaccine shot yesterday, which was really, I was nervous at first, but my arm's been sore. I've been more tired than usual, but otherwise I've been doing really good.
That's good.
Yeah, I even started school going to massage therapy, so I can.
How's that going?
You learn a lot. You learn a lot, especially in anatomy. Right now we're doing like aromatherapy and how that works, and it's actually really cool. And what's good about it is I can just anywhere I go, anywhere I move, I can take it with me, and I guess the pay is really good too. So
yeah,
like yay,
that's good. Yeah, it's a lot to learn. Like, because I went to for massage therapy when I was 19. Like, I just graduated high school, and my mom was like, "Well, what are you gonna do?" I'm like, "Mom, can I take some time off?"
Yeah.
So I went for massage therapy. I didn't do it. I graduated, but I didn't. I was just like, no, like I don't want to touch people. And back then I didn't.
Yeah.
I had some. I had to. Do you do hands-on? Oh, you can't do hands-on. But I'm sure if you were able to, you'd be like, I don't know. I had like classmates, like one was really hairy.
Yeah.
Some other one was like old and wrinkly, and I was just like, this is not for me. Like, I can't do this.
Yeah, that's the thing.
EMT I could do in, like, in-home healthcare and stuff, but I'm not touching people like that.
Yeah, I it's kind of weird too, because like we've been practicing on students, and the teacher will be with the student, and one will be on the table. So one time I was given a forehand massage for free. I was like, oh, this is nice. But it's pretty cool though, because you're actually learning like different techniques and stuff, and it's and it's like there's enough stress in the world, so if I can actually help somebody feel better but also still chase my dream being in the paranormal, hey, works out.
Yeah.
That's the thing though, when you want something like what'll work around what you do in the paranormal field. So when you find something like that, it's great. So
it is.
Yeah, I've been doing good too. I just working, of course, not doing this. I go home, take care of my mom, the kids. I try and get them out and do stuff with them.
Right.
Now that they're back in school, it's a lot easier.
That's good.
Less headaches. But yeah.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a laptop, and I'm not exactly sure what kind of laptop to start writing my first book. So I've been like shopping around and stuff like that, and I don't know what brand, what type of brand of laptop.
Okay. Yeah, like it depends what like you want to use it for. I got a laptop through school, and then I also have my MacBook Pro. Excuse me. And they're both pretty intuitive, and it just kind of depends on what you feel more comfortable with.
Yeah, I've heard of the MacBook. Is that good?
I love it. I grew up in a Mac family, and it's, to me, like, it's just more intuitive.
Yeah.
And if you have an iPhone and stuff like that, it all connect, and that's what I like.
I'll have to go look that up then. Something at least just to write a book, or like maybe with Microsoft Word on it. I don't know. Is that how you start off writing a book?
Yeah. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. And you can, if you even want to, you can get like a tablet and get like one of those wireless keyboards.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And just type like.
It's smaller, so you can take it pretty much anywhere.
Yeah. Cool. I'll try. I'll look around and see.
I think you can practically use anything there, really, can't you? So as long as you've got some sort of documentation thing on there, what you can write on, or do on your phone.
Yeah.
You can start writing on your phone.
This phone's a little too small. I'll write little notes here and there and try and put it into one book.
But obviously,
can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Right. I hear that clicking sound again. I don't know if I think that's me.
I don't know. Can still hear you, so it's all involved.
Okay.
I think as long as and obviously with if you're writing a book, you can't rush it either. You can't rush it to get out there, because I brought a book out, and I'm not going into any more of that.
No, you have to now because you said it.
No, because when I think it was a few years in, and it was kind of I thought, I'll write a book, and put this,
Can you at least tell us what it's about?
It was just about me paranormal experiences, and obviously the event I go to. That was basically it, but I've kind of learned my lesson there.
Oh.
I like writing too.
Yeah, it's a good outlet, you know.
It
It's just
really
like you
is.
write things down. It gets you thinking about things, you know, instead of holding it in and you're just like you get stuck, you know. But writing it down, it's like you're releasing it, you know.
You are. And like also what I like about it too is like it gives you a different perspective. You know, like with me, because, you know, my brain is just kind of like everywhere sometimes. And like I'm always, you know, I come with stuff from the outside, but then when I'm writing too, I realize, oh wow, you know, it sometimes things just click a little bit better when you actually write it down from your thought to paper, and you're like,
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Right.
a lot of people do that with dreams, though, don't they? A lot of people say that you have to write your dreams down, especially if like it's something like weird.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, I have like 2 notebooks with dreams in it, and yeah, I'll look back at it and like start reading certain pages. And I'm like, what the fudge was I dreaming about? Like, what the hell? Like, it's some weird shit. Oh, sorry.
It's all right. It's kind of past the watershed over here.
My bad.
It's all good.
my virgin ears.
Oh my god. No.
Right, so let's get this figure on the road now. So obviously, if nobody watched our spontaneous interview I did with you ladies back in March before we decided to start this podcast, Leslie, would you like to tell everybody why you got into the paranormal?
Absolutely. So me being a weird child, I've always been fascinated with the paranormal. Every time I would watch Unsolved Mysteries, you know, it was back in the, you know, late 80s, early 90s. I'd always get really excited when they would do like a segment about ghosts and stuff. And it wasn't until I moved to Reno in 2013 I started having more paranormal experiences. And this was before I actually got into the paranormal field. And then once that started happening, just a whole bunch of like series of events started to kind of fall into place. And went on my first like little paranormal thing. And then when I was in bed or getting ready for bed, I had that uncontrollable sensation or feeling that I was being watched. And I live alone. And so I'm like, all right, I'll turn around. Nothing will be there. And I can just, you know, I can go back to, you know, try to go back to sleep. And I look over and there's just like ball of floating light floating above my bed. Suddenly I cannot move. So it's like, well, if that's not a sign, I don't know what it is. You know, it was pretty rad, dude. But you know, it was so crazy because like even though I wasn't afraid, I couldn't move. And I was wide awake. But my thought process and stuff like that, you know, I could think freely and stuff like that. And, you know, obviously after I debunked everything and tried to see, okay, well, let's make sure like I'm not just, you know, breathing in like some kind of funky gas or something. And, you know, I could, you know, it's one of those things, unless you actually have it happen to you, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty crazy. And I don't know, ever since then, I'm just like, you know, this is pretty cool. I want to experience more of this. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, like I love it. I love the experiences that come with it. I love traveling and get to see different places with rich in history, and just everything that comes with it, good and bad. I've seen people get attachments, terrible attachments. But I've seen how one gets performed and how to get it out of it too. So, and I just, it's so weird. It's like this strange calling for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I get really excited. Like, ooh, I moved or heard something. It's I get like a giggly, 8-year-old kid, in a candy store. You're like, ooh.
Oh, it's a ghost.
It's cool though, because I don't know. I guess I'm weird like that, and it's actually kind of funny because if I'm going out to places, like I went like yesterday, it was Friday. I went to, run some errands, and my Lyft driver, he's like, oh, so you are okay, because I'll ask, like, the little simple questions. Oh, so what do you do for fun? Well, I talk to dead people, or look for dead people. And he was telling me about a story about, like, the house he's currently living in. There's a haunting of a older woman, and she used to be the owner of this house. And activity won't be too bad, but if it's something like if they're throwing a party, like they got friends over, they're having drinks or whatever, like the activity will increase. And they're, he's called people over numerous times trying to, like, figure out how to get rid of her, or, because I don't know, like, from what I learned, if they're really attached to the house, it's going to be really hard to, like, make them leave.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they're stronger than, your intent, then they're not going to leave, no matter what you do or say. And he's just like, I tried everything. I don't know what to do. We got rid of an object, but, then she came back like a year later, and I'm like, well, maybe she just wants to make sure that you're going to take care of the house, and,
Mm-hmm.
and,
especially when you have, like, an attachment, or you're fond of a certain place when you're alive, and then you pass away and you don't want to leave, so you stay there, right? And you just, like you said, you want to make sure that that place is going to be okay, And even a lot of times I've heard that, spirits of the dead, like the deceased, will even take care of the people in the house as well, like try and protect them and stuff, So
that's it. Yeah, and I tried telling him that. I mean, obviously the driver, he seemed a really cool dude, had his, was very smart and kind and stuff. And I guess the lady who lived alone didn't have any family members or anything to pass her house down to. So this dude was probably, I don't know, old enough to be like a nephew or a son or something. And she left, I don't know the story too much. It was like maybe a 15-minute car ride, but just from what he was saying, the circumstances of how the house was left to him, he's like, I don't know if that has something to do with it. And I'm like, well, it's very possible. I mean, you got that drive right there. Like, if there was mysterious circumstances type thing, and he even said, like, the wife, like, she feels like she needs to dig up the yard for some reason. I mean, it's like, this was an intense 15-minute conversation and stuff like that. And, she's like, she tells me, like, there's something telling me to dig right here. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's your house.
Yeah.
If you feel like, it's going to give you some answers, and go for it. And he's like, well, then what do we tell the cops? Like, oh yeah, a ghost was talking to us in our head. We'll dig up the yard. It's like, how do you
he can always say, like, hey, me and my wife decided to put an in-ground pool and we found this.
Yeah. but he's just like, I just, but he's like, I just don't know what to do. It's not like it's malicious totally where like it's giving them nightmares and leaving them marks on their backs or something. But he's just like, she had no family, had no friends. She lived by herself, and then and then this dude comes along, and suddenly, he has her house. But now she won't leave. So it's like, well, I can kind of see where she's coming from, and but I'm like, hey, if worst comes to worst, try to see if you can at least live in harmony, and maybe she just wants to make sure like the house is going to be in good hands.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they both find their peace.
Yeah.
This is kind of like what my, car rides are like with my Lyft drivers.
Paranormal with Leslie, Uber, or Lyft.
Yeah.
Right, Angel?
I got into the paranormal, when I was about 8 years old, and I noticed or started feeling this presence around, like Leslie, like you said, someone's watching you, right? And then I noticed that there was this image of old man coming into my head and just following me around all the time, And I think he was like, maybe he used to live at that house, and he just, passed away and decided to go back to the house for some reason. But so I asked my mom one day, I was like, do we have a ghost in here? She's like, oh yeah, his name is Charlie. He lives up in the attic. Because you would hear like stuff up in the attic, like someone walking around. And I know we didn't have rats. So, but that's pretty much how I knew big rats, dude. I'd be like, no. But I would also at night see like shadow, like walking past my door, like because I would have my bedroom door closed, and then the little crack under the door, you would see like a shadow, but no one was in the hallway, And then I just started to kind of like got more interested in like my abilities and stuff like that. Started seeing and feeling more things. I've had this really weird creature following me around one time when I was a teenager. It looked like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. It was weird. I thought I was imagining it. It was like short, like chunky with the bald head. He had like, but looked like liver spots, like an orangey brown color. I don't know. And then like I noticed it would follow me to school when I was in high school, and it would try and peek out from like the poles and stuff. And I'm talking to my friends. I'm like, what the fudge? Like,
Yeah.
So that was weird. That was the first time I had something following me, like, that didn't look like it was from this world.
Yeah.
My spirit guides and, seeing them and hearing them. And then just like, started doing like little readings on energies on my own, and picking up on people's vibes and, like their intentions, what they were thinking or feeling. And the same thing, like the deceased, reading their energies and what they're thinking and feeling. I actually did a reading last night for my friend's friend. She lives with her, and I won't say her name, but my friend Kaya. Well, I'll just say it. So it's my friend Kaya, and then it was her friend Melissa. And Kaya was like, "Oh, Angel does. She's a psychic. She does reading and stuff." So Melissa was telling me, like, she wanted to know information about her dad, who had passed away. So I started connecting. I know I spaced out because I'm like, yeah. I do that when I'm connecting, but I won't say exactly what.
Yeah.
I have a lot of those then. I'd be sitting there. and then you're like, okay. Like you're relieved.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling them brain farts now. Hold on, I'm having a brain fart.
That's great.
But yeah, so I started connecting with him, and he was just telling me like all kinds of things, and I was relaying it to her, and it made her cry, and I felt so bad.
Oh, dude.
And she was like, no, you have no idea. Like, I needed to hear this. And it, it's been on my mind for a long time. And I felt really bad. She like had to leave, step out and go to her room and just calm down. Yeah.
That
was pretty powerful.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, to me, like, if like, I mean, I don't know if I've ever made somebody, I mean, I actually did. I actually like made somebody so moving. And it's really weird because like, being, when you finally have that awakening moment and just everything about who you are, how you grew up, just everything starts making sense and you start connecting the dots. To me, that's, but then they're also, it's also a very intense time because, it's basically like this tower moment where like everything you knew is falling down and then everything that you're learning is building up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you actually are able to apply yourself towards people like that, it's really powerful. And it's like, it's at the same time, I feel bad because, I made him cry, that was not my intention, but it's also like, whoa, it's like you are that final piece that they needed to connect the dots and to really just make things clear for them. And I totally get it. And it's really weird when it's a stranger and you do that. And holy fuck, how do you explain that?
And then you got skeptics out there like, no, that's not real, you're faking it. And it's like, no,
and I don't know how to explain it because I'm still learning myself. I mean, when I first had my first awakening, it was, I don't know, 2016 or something like that. So, and you're constantly changing after that.
And you can feel it too. And it's
you really can. Dude, no, it's insane. Like especially when like you're just, I don't know, like when you could be just on the fucking toilet taking a shit and then suddenly you get premonitions. And I swear to God, like I will have them at the weirdest times. I'll either be
you've
like,
you've killed Angel.
Yeah. Sorry, so I'm not imagining you on the toilet, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's the truth though. I mean, you can't just, I mean, sometimes, you can apply yourself and open yourself up to that. And, if you're in a certain situation, investigating and you open yourself up, sure, you can get information that way. But, you could be just doing something simple at your house or just, you're running errands and you just get these premonitions and these facts and just things come through. And you're just like, holy shit. Yeah. And it's really cool though. 'Cause I don't know, to be in that sort of mindset and to be on that level, it's really cool. It's also kind of a curse too, because then if you're in a situation, and you see things are going to happen this way, your friend's dating somebody that is a psychopath, and it's going to lead to that. But they don't listen, and then they just it just things like that, and you're just like.
And it makes you look like the a-hole because they're like, no, it's not. Yeah. That's not going to happen. And he's not like that. And then when it happens, you're like, I told you so.
Like, sorry, or, it's that too. And, or like you get people that are kind of skeptic, like, well, how are you getting this information? How do you know this? How do you
It's hard to explain. It's like normal for us, but we don't know how to explain it.
It is, and that's what's always frustrating with me. Like, it's going to happen because you become so in tune with that feeling and that frequency, and you're just like, even if you try to apply yourself to explain it in the best way how, there's a good chance you're not going to listen anyway, and it's like at that point you're just like, well. I'm gonna go.
I'm pretty sure my spirit guides have been like this.
Yeah. They probably have
Plenty of times.
Yeah.
Plenty of times. Or then when like I do listen, they're like,
yeah,
we told you.
Sarah.
It's crazy. It's fucking nuts. And I don't, you know, but yeah, like I think one of the most intense moments is, again, I was in Vegas and I had my Lyft driver driving me home to my buddy's place. And you know, it's like a good 15-20 minute ride to her house. So, but you know, it started off like a simple conversation, like, oh, you know, how's your night going? Blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, and it's so crazy because, you know, being as sensitive like we are, we get like all these strangers, they will talk to us like we had known them for years.
Oh yeah.
And then suddenly, you know, it goes into more of a spiritual thing. And, you know, she seemed like she was kind of going through her awakening moment too. So it was really cool that like I actually got to be a part of that and be that missing link that she needed. But like by the time she dropped me off, like she's bawling her eyes out. She's like, I can't even look at you. Your eyes are, you know, they look like the thing from Thriller, like Michael Jackson's Thriller, but not in a bad way. And she's just crying and bawling her eyes out because she realized, like, yeah, it's like, you know, and it was really cool that I got to be a part of that. But like, you know, this is a stranger I had just met, you know, and you know, but she, you know, hopefully got all the answers that she needed. And, you know, I felt bad because, you know, at the same time, like in that sense, like you have to be professional. So it's not like you can just like reach over and hug the person and you know, pat, you know, and like pat them on the back and be like, here's a tissue, you know, you kind of, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But it's so cool though when you're able to be a part of that moment and to like help them with their life.
Sorry, I had to step off for a second.
That's all good.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Sorry, you see me walking around.
Yeah, I know you're so rude.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
But yeah, I get what you mean. Like it's weird. Like I can actually, how would I say it? Like predict an estimated time around when someone's gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I did it with my dad. I did it with my brother, my younger brother Pokey. Yeah. My dog, and then even my baby. I was pregnant in 2017. I ended up losing him. Oh, and I knew he wasn't gonna make it. And it's just weird. Like you just see their, like in their energies, like it starts dimming and then it just goes, like if I try and like look at their future, like what's going to be like, it's all gray. So I know exactly around, it's weird. And then so I know the exact around the estimated time that they're going to pass away, because you could just feel it coming on stronger and stronger, you know.
Oh, dude.
Should we be worried, Leslie? I'm just thinking now.
No, you guys are fine. You guys are fine.
She's gonna be like, take it each one of these days. She's gonna message
Sam,
like,
when you guys get off.
No. Take it, yeah, she's like, you need to take it. She's gonna like message us one of these days and be like, you need to take it easy. And we're like, why?
don't go
out. Avoid.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't think I could. I don't think I could predict like that. Like you're gonna die in an airplane. You're gonna die getting hit by a bus or something.
Wasn't that like a plot of a movie? Like they had like this person like where they knew they were gonna die. If not, it sounds like a good
Premonition with Sandra Bullock or something.
I think it could have been.
Yeah. And then she kept predicting her boyfriend in a crash or something, and she kept going back, and she's like trying to like warn him or something. Yeah. I think that's what it was.
Okay. No, that's
yeah. Crazy. No, I don't have premonitions like that. Like that's strong.
Yeah. Like like my premonitions is just like it's not like intense like someone's gonna die, obviously, but just like certain, like if it's gonna go down this path, this is what's gonna happen, or I'll get like I'll look at a picture and just like something like I'll start like receiving information, or the or even like out, if I touch an object, sometimes like I'll get like weird feelings and vibes and just like thoughts running in.
There's a word for that too, clair something, because I know there's clairaudient, clairsentient, clairvoyant. And there's one where if you touch an object, you could like feel it. I don't know the word for it though.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like I and this is what's weird. Like when you're still learning shit, you're like, there's an actual word for what that was,
but I don't know what it is. And you're going to Google,
Yeah, that's what I do. Like anytime like I hear a new word, like I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's this thing called I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, because like when I love taking pictures of like nature, like the skies and the mountains. Obviously, you guys have seen my Instagram, and like a lot of times in my sky pictures, I'll see these like I'll make out these eyes or like certain figures and stuff. And I was like tell my friends and stuff, and they're like, I don't really see it. Like, what are you talking about? And there's a word for it. It's called geomancy, where you can actually make out like figures and stuff that are actually there in nature.
Huh.
It's weird, and I've never heard of that. And then I think it was posted in one of the psychic Facebook groups that I'm in, and I was like, oh, okay. So I looked it up, and yeah, I guess I got geomancy too. I don't know. But then I look crazy because people are like, I can't see it.
Well, they're not cool.
You're not weird and unique like I am.
Yeah. Who wants to be normal anyway?
I know, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't even think, like, what if we are the normal and then the normal people are the weird ones? But they want to make it like we're the weird ones and they're normal. I don't know.
Yeah, but normal's boring, innit? Come on.
It really is.
Yeah.
I would probably be in a lunatic asylum right now. Back in the day.
We all would be.
Yeah.
We'll be right there with you. We'll be bunkies like
back in the day, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I think we would have been burned at the stake already. Back in the day.
Yeah.
You're a witch.
Could I have some marshmallows? Because I got a nice fire going.
I got some sticks right here. It's cool. I just see the marshmallows.
That's right.
It's like with me, they like, obviously, Leslie and Angel know, and this is the whole idea of the podcast too. Like recently, I got validation. Ladies, I told you, because like for years I've been like, oh, I have spirits talking to me in my ear. I see them. I can describe them. And recently, I was watching Sage Paracon at home. Shameless plug. And there's a very good psychic medium on there. MJ has on, another shameless plug. Because you watch this man. And the name's Jessica Potter. And she's like lovely. She's known to be the mermaid medium. And it was like she did a talk about like all the Claires, and I was kind of like asking these questions because my friend MJ has been telling me for years, like, yeah, you've got this Claire, that Claire, and when you're kind of like, nah, I haven't.
The denial phase.
Right.
You obviously ignore it. Like, I know a lot of people ignore it anyway because only 24/7 anyway. And then like it was kind of like, because she said, because obviously she explained it, and then I was like, oh well, ask questions, and then she validated it, and I was like, and I like messaged Leslie and Angel, and I was like, girls,
and we knew like you had something, but it was just, you know, you were blocking it.
Yeah,
you know, it was only a matter of time. You can't keep that down, you know.
You really can't. And you know, that's part of your journey is your self-discovery, and you know, everybody has their own way of finding out their uniqueness and what makes them so special. And you know, sometimes people just, they don't even take that initiative to like look into that. And it's good that that's happened, because now it gives you the tools to focus on and really look into yourself and figure out, you know, what you need to do and what's best for you.
Yeah.
And
it was bound to happen when you're ready, you know?
Yeah, because starting like this week, I'm going to start like meditating again, because like I used to, like a few years ago, I used to meditate loads, and that's when it was proper like, and obviously I was in touch with my spirit guide, so that's happening tomorrow.
Start meditating.
Yeah, it'll be fun. You'll have those eye-opening moments too.
Yeah.
And they'll just happen at the most random times, and it'll kind of freak you out and be like, what the fuck's going on? And but then when, you know, when it actually happens though, you know, things will start connecting and it'll start making more sense. And then once you realize like, oh, you know, when this happens, that's what that means, you know. And just the little things they'll just grow. It'll, you know, you're basically planting that seed, and now it's just going to grow into this beautiful lush plant with flowers.
And then I'll be like messaging
you
like, girls,
sunflowers. I know, you can always come to us. We're just gonna start giving you all kinds of information right now. Get you started. Psychic starter pack.
Honestly, like I just know, like I'm just gonna go down like the rabbit hole, because I like who doesn't love a good rabbit hole, like with research and that. So
yeah, it'll be fun. You know, you'll once and you'll realize your limits too, or what like more triggers, or what you're more sensitive to. And don't be afraid to have boundaries and put them down. And you know, it's all about balance.
Yeah, I had boundaries before, because obviously I work with my spirit guides, and see, like especially if we was in a haunted location, I was like, right, spirit guide, if they get too close, shove them. Back off.
They're like, we're just here to guide you, not freaking fight your battles, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I always do? Well, like I know I work with my spirit guides, but a lot of them are also my ancestors, my native ancestors. And it's weird because one time I had gone, true story, not crazy, I don't need to end up in a psych ward after this, but I went to Red Rock one time, and I went to the scenic route, and there's a bunch of trails there if you guys have been there before. And so there was this one called the Petroglyph Walls, and it's just like a dry riverbed. So I'm walking along, going further into, you know, on that trail. And I just started feeling like, you know, someone, like more than one person was around me. And in my vision, I could see actual natives, like the Paiute natives. But then right in front of me, I see these they look like native warriors. But they were tall, like taller than a normal human being. And they were just like, they had the little, you know, pretty much half naked, I should say, with their spears and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, what the heck? And then like, I already knew like, those are my ancestors, like they're there to protect me. And they were right in front of me, like in between me and the Paiute spirits, you know?
That's
so cool. That was pretty cool. And I was just like tripping out, because like, they kind of looked like the ones from that movie Avatar, but you know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but not so blue.
Not so like animal looking.
Yeah, so that was the first time I actually saw them like out there, like protecting me. I'm like I seen them before, but never like they were like on guard, like, you know, like back the fuck away from Angel, you know, and
That's
yeah,
cool.
so that was trippy. Yeah. So there's always like different types of, you know, I would say like races, like you guys have heard like the alien races and all that stuff, you know,
yeah,
how we come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of like the reptilians, and then there's like
The Palladians or something.
Yeah. It's like, well, that's an interesting concept, you know.
Yeah. I don't think we're reptilian though. I mean, imagine.
I don't know. My ex was pretty, you know.
Okay, well, okay, he was.
Colors quite a bit, so I mean. It's cool though. It's, you know, I from my understanding from my mom's or my dad's side, we got the Scandinavian. So I had like super really blonde hair when I was a kid. And it was natural, you know, it was just, but everybody's just like, what the hell, you know, that's pretty for, you know. No, it was crazy. Oh my God. Like, especially if you're at that age and you're going to Japan, and it's like, people would nonstop look at me and smile and be like, oh, she's so pretty. Cause I guess like blonde hair is considered good luck in that culture.
They're trying to kidnap you and keep you in their house.
You know, it would not surprise me. There are some shady people out there. But no, it was like, sorry, I got like ADHD sometimes, and my brain just goes like, ooh.
Like a brain fart?
Yeah, massive brain fart. But from my dad's side, we got Scandinavian in our heritage. So my mom would always say, you know, your ancestors are Vikings. Which, you know, would explain, because I do have that warrior soul sometimes, and I am very strong when need to be. And
you could feel it. I could feel it. Sam, if you could feel it too with her.
Yeah.
Like when we went to the meetup at the museum, like your energy was just like, well, okay. But in a good way, you know.
Like, don't mess with this bitch.
That's crazy. Like, I try not to be like that asshole, you know. That's the last thing I want to do, but I know, like, I have a very strong warrior energy about me. And
very protective though too.
Yeah, like it's like I'm, you know, I'm really a soft puppy, you know, but don't fuck with my friends or my family, or else you're gonna die, you know. But yeah, no, it's you know, and I don't, and it's really hard too, because I know if people already have that insecurity about them to begin with, like, it can be very intimidating.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I apologize for anybody in advance who has felt that way or will feel that way. It's not my intention. If anybody knows me, I am a goofball. I tell jokes.
She's a sweetheart. She's funny.
Yeah. You know, so, but it's so weird, because it's like, it's not like I can just turn it off either. I mean, I try to, like, okay, you're coming off too strong. You gotta tone it down, you know, turn down the energy. But yeah, so it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that's, you know, my ancestors are Vikings, and I, you know, and I think too, like, when I'm investigating too, because like I've been touched before, but I've never actually, like, I don't know, like, I don't think spirits will, like, I'm obviously not their first choice to try to, you know, mess with. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of cool in that sense, you know. I can go into these really, like, terrifying places, and, like, yeah, they're not gonna mess with me, you know. But then I get, like, the spirits that do communicate and will make themselves known and stuff. Like, I went, because Ted, who's, you know, Ted Moore, he has a local TV show here, and, you know, he'll invite me to locations and stuff to do an episode or two, you know. And So far I've done 2, and he's like, you know, being, you know, when I came on those 2 times, he's like, that is the best evidence we have gotten in a long time.
When you were there.
Yeah. He's like, dude, you know, it was so crazy. But it's really cool though that I can be a part of, you know, just a really cool investigation and stuff like that. And you know, and he's always, you know, encouraging me. He's like, because, you know, it's really nervous when you know it's going to be on TV. You know, you want, you know, it's like, obviously you don't want to make them look bad, but then you don't want to do something totally like stupid and dumb that's like, okay, you know, where I'm going to like hide my face in the dirt of shame or something. And you know, it's really cool though. It's you know, and he's like, you did great, oh my god, you know. And he's like, we're at a location, and we're running the spirit box, and this was a hotel, a casino out in Eureka, and they had a fire. And so we're walking down the halls and stuff and into the different rooms with the spirit box session. And, you know, we kept getting like a male voice saying, get out, get out, get out. And, you know, first we thought, okay, well, are they being just like an asshole and just saying, you know, get the fuck out of my house type thing? Or if, you know, and then the more like we investigated, like it just kind of clicked, like, what if, you know, they're telling us to get out because there was a fire, and, you know, this is like that kind of spirit where, you know, they're trapped in that time frame. But then we also had an asshole ghost that was like, you know, I asked them, like, you know, did you commit suicide here? And this male voice came in clear. He's like, I would if I were you. And I was like, damn, you know, he's like, you're not going to like this. I'm like, well, what, how bad, you know? And, I mean, it was like, it was shocking, but it's like, well, that's to be expected too. You know, you get these more not so nice ghosts that, you know, will just be total dicks too.
Yeah.
And then, you know, lucky Ted had a female spirit hit on him and was saying, oh, you know, he like going to a room and, you know, it's free of charge type, you know, thing and stuff like that. And he's like,
oh my god,
it was pretty.
Did he
funny.
take up on the offer?
he was talking to her like that, you know, trying to get the response and stuff, you know. And I think her name was Denise, and you know, we're like, which room do you want Ted to go in? And she said in like clear words, like 23 or something like that. It's like, whoa, Ted, look at you. You're a pimp. I know. But then I screamed because like I felt something. And he's like, God, you scared her off, Leslie. Way to go.
She probably thought, oh shit, his girlfriend.
But it was cool. You know, it's like I always like investigating with Ted. Like he's always, you know, he's always lifting people up. You know, he doesn't fall into that paradrama. He's very professional. You know, and any questions I got, you know, and he's always there. Like if we're filming and like there's something that's interfering, you know, with like equipment or anything like that, like he's always professional when he's like telling you and like teaching you stuff and like saying, okay, this is, you don't want to do this because this is why. And you know, he's a really good, you know, yeah. I mean, he's definitely cool people, and you know, I'm glad I have him. You know, just one of the few people I have in my circle.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's like a mentor to you, then, pretty much.
Yeah, he's one of them. You know, yeah, it's really cool. You know, I've learned so much just being on those 2 episodes with him and just investigating. You know, and even like when we're out scouting for new places and stuff like that, you know, he's, you know, just how he interacts with people and customers and stuff like, or like the clients, I guess, in the areas. I mean, he's just always so professional and just, you know, it's cool though. Like it's really relieving. Besides you guys, like there's actually decent people in the paranormal field. Yeah,
I know.
you know.
Yeah,
you're like,
stop it.
Stop it. Stop it.
No, you stop it.
You stop it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
Honestly, like anybody who's watching this, if you saw us three together like this, we're kind of like normal, aren't we? On this, but when we're together, yeah,
this is our normal.
Yeah, pretty much. But it has to be that way, like, you know, you just joke around and have fun with your friends, you know, and talk, you know, about the same interests and stuff, and it's nice, you know. I don't have friends here in Vegas, so I'm a loner.
Oh,
well, I have all you online buddies.
I'll move to Vegas, and then we can do the shit in person.
Yes, please. It'd be nice. At least I have one friend then. I have my kids, but you know, sometimes it doesn't count.
Yeah, kids don't count.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell like penis jokes and stuff to your kids.
Oh no, I'm still open mouth when it comes to that. My mom's like, Mija, your kids are right there. Or like my son Lucas will be like, Mom, and then he'll go and say the same thing, and I'm like, really? I wouldn't say if I'm a good influence on my kids. But they won't dare say that in public, like in front of other people. So they have that much manners and respect, you know. So it's like inside jokes.
Yeah. That's one thing. Like my mom always would do. Like if we knew like we were going past the boundary or past the limit, she'd give us a look.
Yeah.
And we knew like that was the beyond. Do not cross. Do not go. Unless you have a death wish type thing.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay.
We said too much. Whoops.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Mom. It was cool.
So, girls, we have like 3 minutes left.
Oh.
Already?
I said we need to stick to the hour, but it's all right if we go a bit over. So, because obviously we started a bit late anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we always have an hour before we come on air.
Okay, now we have 2 minutes left. I'm counting down right there now. But it went by fast though. Like I didn't even. It doesn't. Even
it always does
Yeah.
though, doesn't it? Like because at first, like it was like I thought we were only like 20 minutes in, and then it's like super quick. So why have we chosen for everybody who's watching and who watches back? Why have we chosen to do this podcast?
Well, because we love the paranormal, and we are obviously awesome when we're together. So it just makes sense because we want people into our shenanigans as well.
Yeah,
and
come to our circle.
Because like obviously the energy between us three, that's why it's like we've put the Trinity of three, because when all those three energies are together, we're like, hey,
that's it.
But you know what? Also, too, I know our podcast because of the knowledge that we have between us three about the paranormal, like having abilities and anything that other people don't understand. They can listen in and even ask questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer it and talk about that subject. So it's also will be a learning experience for others as well.
Yeah, and anytime you guys like need even advice, just feel free.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, pretty much nothing is off the table. Feel free to, anything that comes to mind.
And we mean anything.
Yeah. Just don't ask me out on a date, okay?
I don't know, me. You can ask me. No, I have to find someone in the paranormal field, so
that's it, dude. I swear
it's
to God.
hard, like when you're trying to date someone that doesn't know or understand, and it's kind of hard.
It really is. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still single, because like if you're like even in that phase of just trying to like get to know somebody, and then the ultimate test is to see how fast they run when you tell them what you actually do for fun.
Oh my God, seriously. Freak them out a little bit.
Yeah, you do. But I'm like, well, okay, bye, I'm like, literally, I had an ex who was jealous of Zach too. It was so funny.
Oh,
like,
I had one of them.
Yeah. Like, he would always like accuse me of like, oh, why don't you go tell your boyfriend Zach Baggins about that? And it's just like,
well, maybe I will. I'll go tweet him right now.
Yeah. And that's when I like, all right, you're gone. Bye. Cause I'm just like, if you can't respect him, it's like, go. Bye.
And it's not even about respecting him, but respecting you, as well. So
like, dude, come on, he's my hero. So, don't be, it's just no need, and but yeah, it's really hard to like date people when they don't really, cause they're, it's so taboo for some people. Like they won't even acknowledge, there was a ghost or something. They always try to look for the more logical reason. Oh, well, this glass just moved across the floor on its own. Oh, it's just like, come on, dude.
The wind did it and all the windows are closed.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'm just like, come on. But
yeah,
but the way I see it, you got to shine your weirdness and your weird light so other weird people know how to find you.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's okay if I'm single. That's okay, because I love myself enough to stay happy.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And also the right pit. I always say to people, because if they're like, oh, I've been single for so long, I always say the right person will come along when you need them. So
that's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Exactly.
And
mine's taking forever though, so I don't know.
Yeah. He's probably riding on a turtle instead of like a white stallion. That's what's taking him so long.
Snail.
Yeah.
More like a snail.
A snail.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Did it fall?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it in my hair.
I think like my future summons like still trying to like go through a lot of stuff, and they're still trying to figure out some things. So that's probably what's taking them.
Well, they need to hurry up then, because
Yeah. Like, come on, I'm 37, going on 38. I already got gray hair in my eyebrows.
Oreo, hi. My client's cat just took the seat.
Aww.
It's all right.
I'm a sucker for animals too.
Aww.
Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Yeah, like, doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like, if I'm having like a conversation with somebody, I will stop what I'm doing just to pet the cat or dog or whatever. I don't care.
Aww.
Yeah, that's like, I love animals.
Yeah, because you're so adorable until they steal your seat.
Yeah. Aww.
So yeah, girls. For anybody who obviously there's a lot of people in here who know Angel and Leslie. We will like the girl, like Leslie said, it'll be more spiritually topics kind of thing, and we shall also because we can say, we shall also. In a few months' time, whatever it takes to see how obviously things go, we shall be bringing a museum discussion show.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm saying it now. It's not associated with Zach. It's not associated with the museum at all. It's just 3 fans, maybe more, talking about the museum. And we're going to have a few sections on it. So we're going to be talking about the artifacts. I don't know why I'm calling them artifacts, but because it's artifacts, the people behind it. So we'll have like shows on like again and things like that.
I think for that show, we should totally make a trip to Vegas just so we can, refresh our memory with the museum. And, he's got some new stuff in there too. So.
Yeah, but I could be waiting over a year for that.
Yeah, that's true.
With lockdown and that, so COVID and that, so.
We'll do Leslie can come down and me and her will go and we'll videotape it for you, Sam, okay? The outside at least.
Yeah, that side. We'll draw you pictures of what we saw.
But yeah, I think it's just going to be like kind of one.
I'll draw you a picture of the penis pub.
Oh, they don't have that no more.
They don't?
Why? That was a one-off. That was a one-off.
I wanted to take like my UV flashlight so bad to it just to see it glow.
This is where the shit gets me.
Well, ladies, I have to go back to work, so
no problem.
Yes. It was nice talking to you guys. Nice talking. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed our conversations.
Yes, I did. It's always fun.
All right. All right, ladies. I'll talk to you later then.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
So yeah, then there was 2, which I knew was going to happen anyway. We were like before we went on there, we were like, oh, we're going to only stick to an hour.
It never happens.
No. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. Now is your chance.
Yes.
Yeah, for obviously anybody who doesn't know, I do PSH Radio too, but this is in conjunction with PSH Radio. So if you're watching back or that, I know Jonathan's in the chat room. I don't know if the Spooky Sisters are still in the chat room. PSH Radio is still there. It's just with in real life stuff and things like that. And plus, I don't have a job and I need something to do. So what better way to bring out a new podcast and the whole fact that PSH Radio is just going to be a guest only one. Whereas this podcast will be guests, topics, whatever we feel like on the day.
Yeah, that's right. Damn right.
So, yeah.
That's cool.
Now we're kind of like, what to talk about?
Yeah. So do we have any questions?
Not at the moment. Let's look at some of the comments, what people put. Roy said, I feel sorry for people who can't listen or willing to accept you.
Aww.
That was obviously from earlier on. And then, it will be fun when an entity pulls you out of the bed.
Yes. I haven't experienced that yet. I'm eagerly waiting for that moment though. I have felt my bed shake though. And I debunked everything to make sure I wasn't feeling like an earthquake or, anything slide, but I haven't experienced that yet. And that is something that's something on my bucket list of paranormal experiences.
Okay. That looks weird. Anyway. So, yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, this is going to be like every other Sunday type of thing, but we don't have one. Not next Sunday, the Sunday after, because obviously Sage Paracon at Home replay is happening. If you need something to do in lockdown, guys, if you're bored, if you need a paranormal fix, I'll post the link in the chat room once this is finished. Tickets are like, they were $17. I think they're like $14 now. For 3 days of talks, but this is obviously a replay because they do a live and a replay. So
Very cool.
Another shameless plug. I know I'm not really that good because I've got to get used to like doing shameless plugs again. Sorry.
Isn't technology great?
Yeah.
So how is your quarantine in the UK going?
It's like we're getting there because obviously like not tomorrow pubs officially reopen, shops officially reopen, hairdressers.
Oh, that's good.
Things like obviously social distancing involved, and with pubs, you can only sit outside.
Okay.
But the way it's going, because obviously some half a percentage or whatever, I don't get percentage and things like that.
Right.
The population over here is vaccinated now, so obviously the R rate number's gone down. There's been nobody really going into hospital, and that's why, because we've got like 4-stage thing every year. In June the 12th is when we basically officially reopen.
Oh wow, that's not far.
Not obviously go back to normal, but
no,
because I think like it's going to be a little while. But
yeah,
I just want to, so we can come to Vegas.
Fun.
Because we used to like go to Vegas every year, and it's kind of like been how many years we've not been Vegas because of all this and what.
I actually, being in Nevada, I actually got to go to Vegas during when we're just kind of everything was up in the air and stuff. When they actually reopened, like their first reopening day, I decided, I need to go out and do something fun.
No,
I'm gonna go to the museum. So I went for the weekend, and it was great. Did the flashlight tour for Halloween too.
I think it's a good thing now though, because obviously I think it was kind of like before when he first started it was kind of a bit of a test thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think obviously we can't speak for Zach and whatever. I think now hopefully that he's keeping it because I want to do it.
It is so much fun. Like, okay, not to like to take the topic off of, but as somebody who actually did that on Halloween night, I recommend taking the tour first if you haven't. But obviously someone like myself or like Sam who has been multiple times, you in comparison to a regular tour, it's almost like you get a little more freedom because one, you're not being guided by a tour, and you are pretty much free roam to like which part of the floor which room you want to go into on that floor, and then they move you too. So like they'll round you up, tell you, okay, we're gonna go to the second floor or the first floor, whatever the case may be. But it's so awesome though, because it's just a whole different experience, different energy when you're actually doing the flashlight tour. I love it. It's it's more quieter, so you can hear more of like environmental things that are going around. And then having the spirit box and the K2 meter was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
it's fun. Like I oh my god, I was nerding out so hard.
like I think like it'd be a good idea anyway, because obviously us three have been chucking ideas to one another for this podcast, and I think it would be a good idea to have people on, say like you and Angel, because you've been to the museum during quarantine. So I think it would be good because obviously if people want to go to the museum and they're worried, it's not the same and things like that, I think it'd be good to get you both on just to like talk about like the haunted museum and during quarantine. Well, quarantine sounds wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. No,
social distancing.
Yeah, I think he did a great job considering what he had to work with and deal with during this pandemic. Like I am amazed. And I didn't feel like I was being like I felt like I was still getting the same experience, even though he had to do a lot of like rearranging for the distancing and the spacing and stuff. He did really great, and I was very impressed with how he did it.
I think like looking at it, I think it'd be a great idea for when obviously we go back to some normality where all that can go out of, where you don't have to social distance and things like that, because I think it'd be good because it'll kind of like refresh your memory of items when you go back, because obviously you're not seeing them at the minute, because obviously talking to staff and that, we know like a lot of the items have been put into storage because obviously we've got to deal with the 2-meter rule and things. So
yeah, no, it's really cool though, because like you said, like, you know, there's some things that, you know, you'll see again and it'll just refresh your memory and you're like, oh yeah, this was here. It's pretty cool though. It's you know, it's anybody that is in Vegas, you know, just, you know, there's multiple reasons why to go, you know, even if it's just because you want a good scare, you just want to really, you know, I love it mainly because he just has a lot of like interesting and cool stuff to look at. You know, and the fact that it has such a haunted history behind it, I think is also pretty cool. So it just adds to the intensity. And you know, there's certain things, you know, I've experienced, and you just, like in particular rooms, and you know, you feel it physically, at least I do, when I go to certain rooms.
Yep.
So
feel like on that one.
It's, and you know, Sam knows, and you know, she's got stories, and so you know, it's just word with caution, you know, just be safe, be careful, don't push yourself to the point where you're gonna be in harm's way, obviously, depending on your own situation. But it's, if you can actually persevere into the tour and stuff, I recommend doing it, and do the ROP tour.
Yep. Because like even like you guys are really lucky anyway, because every single museum over here has been shut.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So even if they put socials, it's still shut. So, but I think they reopen tomorrow.
No, that's good.
So
it's going to be interesting how things play out over there.
Yeah, this is the thing, because like a lot of my friends are like, oh, we think like we're gonna go back into lockdown, and because obviously now the kids have gone back and they've been back for a few weeks now. Obviously they're on half term, but I think like maybe like I've got a feeling that now it's kind of like slowly we're getting is the way out now. So
yeah, it's, you know, and it's what's scary, because I know like in some parts of the States, they're not wearing masks at all. Here, pardon me, in Nevada, they're not like really forcing the masks, but you know, it is, you know, they are telling people to wear a mask. It is required, and they offer masks too if you don't have one. So that's part, you know, so that helps. But yeah, it's been really weird. Like, even where I'm going to school now, like we're doing, part of it is in distance learning form, and then the other parts, when we're actually like in the classroom on campus, we're wearing masks. So it's, but I'll be glad when like everything's like the new norm, where we can, you know, go outside and not have to like get dirty looks if we sneeze or something, or you know, it'll just, I'm just over it. I'm over it. I even got my vaccine yesterday, so I was just like, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's get back. You know, I miss being traveling and doing fun stuff.
That's like the same as us, like, because obviously like because obviously it's illegal over here, like you can only travel for work. and you have to have like appropriate paperwork. So say like if you're a TV show, you have to have appropriate paperwork of the production company, and if you get stopped, like please stop you and everything, you have to have appropriate paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's next month or later this. I think it's next month or later this month. They are making it so you don't have to have that anymore. So that means we can travel a lot more, and they're going to be like opening like not hotels, but like like self catering places where you take your own food. So
that'd be nice.
We're like, come on, hurry up,
yeah,
because we want to see friends, even if it's social distancing and things.
Seriously, like I miss hugging people and just being in the same room with somebody. It's I mean, I've kind of been I've always been kind of a hermit or a loner, so like I haven't been depressed and sad like a lot of people have, because somebody who isn't used to being at home a lot, it's very hard. I live alone, so it's just another day for me. But but even then, like, I still miss going out and being able to just do fun stuff. And hopefully soon we can all get back and we can go to the museum and we can do other fun stuff and
All right.
Yeah. And
I think eventually it will, but I think it's kind of like, obviously, because your America's obviously completely different to us, so.
Right, yeah.
So I think eventually it will, and then we'll be like, but it's kind of like, because there's a lot of like adverts on TV over here, where it's kind of, they've got like, people have got anxiety because obviously they've been so long without seeing friends in that, and it shows you like the anxiety of like what people may have, like where, because now you can sit in someone's garden if there's 6 of you social distancing, and there's like one particular video where she's out in the garden with her friends, but then she keeps looking at the sofa, because obviously it's like kind of like, I think a lot of people are really going to struggle when we get back to where you can hug and talk without like and without social distancing, because obviously it's been over like a year now, just over a year now, and I think a lot of people are going to struggle.
That's one of the reasons why I decided to go back to school. So it to learn a new skill, but also it gives me something to focus on. So when everything does go back to normal, I could have a new job or a new career, and then I can make more money and be doing more paranormal thingies, doing more paranormal stuff.
Which is gonna be great. I just can't wait to get into a haunted location.
Oh my God, dude. It's been tough. Like, especially if you're actually do shows where you have to travel, like you said, and a lot of places are so closed, or they're just not responding or calling back or saying no to filming. And it's like my buddy Ted, he's like, people that he called probably like 6 months ago finally like called him back, and he's like, well, we're gonna go investigating in May, so it's and then I'm going investigating with Roy. We're gonna go do the Clown Motel.
Oh, it's amazing there. I love that place. I'm scared of shit of clowns, but it's amazing.
Yeah. This will be my first time going there too, so I'm pretty excited about that. And see the cemetery.
But it'll be interesting to see if you feel anything off that big clown.
Yeah. Oh, the one that's sitting in the room with all the other little clowns.
The one that's scared because I don't know if Jonathan's still watching, but Jonathan has got a YouTube series called Paranormal Voyages. Guys, go check them out. And they did the Clown Motel, and when we were back in Vegas, whenever it was now, we did the Tuna Park Cemetery with them.
Nice.
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 So I think we're going to call it a night, afternoon, evening now, guys. If you don't already, please go and like PSH Radio's Facebook page.
Yes.
It would be appreciated. Our next show is going to be on the 2nd of May. So it'll be like a few days before we go live. They all announce what we're doing and that. So.
Mm-hmm. But if you sign up for the, if you actually like and share the page, you'll get the notifications and stuff.
Yep.
And we're actually going to go on live. So if you like what you see. And
it's kind of like, I think it's like, obviously, like we're a bit like, we've got to get used to it because obviously last time we did this, it was kind of like an impromptu thing where I was just interviewing you girls. But I think obviously because it's a new, we've got to get like you, especially you and Angel, you've got to get used to it because you're not used to like doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, no, but it's cool though, because that's how we learn, and that's what I want to learn, and I'm looking forward to everything that all the experiences that are gonna be offered here.
Yeah,
it's definitely cool.
Feel power.
Yeah.
Right, with that said, everybody, we want to thank everybody for watching and commenting.
Thank you.
It is appreciated. And
I love you all.
And we bid you a good night, good evening. Bye.